Hello everyone, welcome to the episode of the BG Show. I'm here to do a spoiler review for the new Joker sequel, Folie à Deux, or I'm going to call it Joker 2. This is official spoiler warning, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, go check out my non-spoiler review, where I just give some of my thoughts on the movie. And let me just get right into it. Again, spoiler warning in 3, 2, 1. Okay, my biggest problem with this movie is the way they changed Harley Quinn's character. One of the dumbest things I've ever seen in a superhero movie in a long time. They basically made Harley Quinn a patient in Arkham Asylum. Just a regular patient along with Joker. Eventually we find out she pretty much just committed herself because she wanted to meet him. But again, her backstory in the comic books is she was Joker's therapist or psychiatrist, and then slowly but surely, as she kind of was his doctor, she fell in love with him, and then obviously went crazy with him and turned into Harley Quinn. Fine. Why wouldn't you just use the classic story and the classic... Yeah, just use the classic story. It was right there. I don't think we've seen that story in live action yet. It's even if you just did that and didn't change anything and just made that the movie, it would have been so much better. It took away all of the character arc from her. They made her just a regular patient. Then you think she's like poor, and it's like, oh, okay, she has a similar upbringing. As it turns out, she lied about the whole thing, and she's just like a random woman from the Upper West Side who likes a Joker. And at the end of the movie, she leaves the Joker. Absolutely no character arc. I thought Lady Gaga, and I'm not even saying it was her, just her character was so annoying this whole movie. I didn't even see her as Harley Quinn. I just saw her as like this annoying character that just kept showing up in every scene. Obviously, she can sing, but that's my next point, which I said in my other review, is the songs are just so bad. There isn't like one good song in this whole movie. Nothing that is like relatable at all. And when she's like recently coming over, it's basically like A Star Is Born, except instead of Bradley Cooper, it's a Joker, and the songs are like 10 times shittier. That's pretty much what it's like a lot of times. So yeah, my biggest problem was just like the Harley Quinn character. I thought it was really ridiculous. And so what I mentioned in my non-spoiler review was like the DC characters and using some and not using others. And so this is what I mean is, if you don't care about Harley Quinn's backstory and the backstory with the Joker, the guy you're making a movie on, then why is the DA who's prosecuting him Harvey Dent? Like, on the one hand, it's like, oh, I know that Harvey Dent is supposed to be the DA, which is like a DC thing, so you want to be comic accurate there. But then you don't care about being comic accurate with the Lady Gaga, like with the Harley Quinn backstory. And again, I don't care about being comic accurate. I just think would be a way better movie. I think it's a way better story if she starts as his doctor. I think it's totally dumb if she's just a random patient there. That's nothing. So I thought that was dumb. And I guess so. The movie actually, like I said, was way better than I thought. The way they portrayed Arkham, I thought was okay. A lot of like typical prison sequences. The guards are treating him like shit. There's like an hour, I would say the first hour is like an Arkham Asylum, and then like the last 90 minutes are in the courtroom, and just like a lot of, it turns into a courtroom drama, but it's not really interesting. I don't think it's bad, I just think the courtroom scenes are kind of just okay. I think all of this movie is just kind of okay. So it's like a 5 out of 10, but then you mix in the fact that it's a musical, which I don't like, and you kind of deduct a couple of points there, and so that kind of leaves me at like a 4 or 5. The beginning of the movie might be my favorite part. It starts with an animated sequence, and if you follow my channel, you know I love animation. There's probably like at least like a 5-minute Joker kind of like animated movie. It almost kind of looks like Tom and Jerry, the animation, like old school, and I thought that was really cool. I kind of wish I could see a whole movie like that. But yeah, I kind of realized like 10, 15 minutes in why people didn't like it. But it wasn't like as shockingly bad as I thought. I've seen some really, really bad movies. Madam Web, which I'll just never stop saying how bad Madam Web is. Go watch Madam Web just to see how bad it is. Because nothing will even get close to that level of bad. And this isn't even close. So, yeah, in terms of it being like, this movie just lacked a lot of what made the first movie good. The tension, the suspense, I just thought it was a much worse movie. I think the first movie, people are kind of, not surprisingly, people are shitting on a lot, but I think the first movie is still really strong. But yeah, it's pretty crazy, the downgrade from an Oscar performance to this. And it wasn't even really him. I thought he was still just as good as the first one, but the script was just really bad. And, what also bothered me is just, I mentioned before, the weaving in and out of DC characters. They didn't make it, I think, feel Gotham enough. like, I don't think the word Gotham was mentioned until like the last 30 minutes of the movie. They kept mentioning like the trial was New York State versus Arthur Fleck, when just simply saying like City of Gotham versus Arthur Fleck, I think would have made you like more in the movie. And like I mentioned in the in my other review, I think the placing of this movie, while the Penguin is going on, while the Pattinson Batman movie is going on, and also while the DCU is being established, and we still haven't cast that Batman, and possibly another Joker there, and then we have the Barry Keoghan Joker in the Pattinson universe. It's just, there's so much going on right now in DC. DC needs to streamline, needs to just tell you, like, when you go to a movie, it's all in the same universe. This is way too much for everyone to kind of follow. Even, like, people above casual fans probably struggle with this. Like, this is, I mean, I can follow it, but it's probably complicated for a lot of people. So I think DC really needs to, like, streamline their products going forward. I thought the ending of this movie was really kind of mediocre, too. You know, he dies. He gets stabbed by this random guy in a similar, who delivers this kind of similar line that he delivered to Robert De Niro's character Murray at the end of the first movie. Only he gets stabbed, and then in the distance you can see the guy take the knife and kind of slice the smile on his face, similar to how Heath Ledger has it. So they kind of ripped that off a little bit from Heath Ledger, which I bet will make some people unhappy. But I'm not too surprised they killed him. I can't believe people are talking about potentially a third movie. A Joker trilogy is just insane. You can make one Joker movie without Batman, but making three is just ludicrous. So, you know, I really think you had a potential for a movie here, and it just wasn't good. I think even I think they wasted Lady Gaga. I think whoever wrote that character wrote that script. You know, at the end of the movie, he goes back to the steps because he's escaped prison. A bomb goes off in the courtroom, and I was trying to look at Harvey Dent's character when the bomb goes off, because I'm like, oh, is this when he's going to become Two-Face? And again, they kind of half-assed it. Like, there was some damage to his face, but it wasn't definitive enough. And I'm like, even if it was definitive enough, I'm like, you're going to do that big of, I wouldn't even say it's a deep cut, but you're going to establish Two-Face in the Joker sequel, but you're not going to, you know, make more references to Gotham and other places. So I thought that was a little bit, you know, it was a little bit uneven there. But yeah, you know, the movie wasn't terrible. I don't think it was as big of a tire fire as people thought. Yeah, so after the bomb goes off, he gets picked up by a couple of Joker followers. They drive him around. Eventually, he runs out of the cab, and he ends up at those stairs, and pretty much Harley Quinn is already there, and she gives him some speech about, I don't even know, once you found out that she wasn't, like, really crazy and just from the Upper West Side and kind of rich, it was a little weird and disorienting, and she kind of just left, and yeah, I thought her character just sucked. I really thought that was the worst part of all this. Like, again, not because of her acting, just like a really annoying character. And not in like the Harley Quinn way, just like in the annoying way. And as much as people say like they can't see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker as like the criminal mastermind, I really can't see Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn kind of like hitting people over the head with her gigantic hammer and shit like that. So I think Margot Robbie is a way more believable one and just way more accurate and just better. I think this version just absolutely sucks. The portrayal of Arkham Asylum I thought was good, but could have been way better. I think it could have been way creepier. It was a little bit way too generic for me. I think it's portrayed better, definitely in the video games, but just pretty much all the other appearances of Arkham Asylum I thought have been better than this. Just didn't make it Gotham-y enough, didn't make it dark enough or gloomy enough. Trying to think what else. There's not a ton to spoil, you know. Like I said, the music is really not good. I don't like the music. I don't like pretty much anything about the musical elements. I think it doesn't really add much to the movie at all. I think the ending's mediocre. I think the beginning's really good. I think the first hour of this movie is way better than like the last 90 minutes. The courtroom stuff is really And yeah, even like the courtroom, I guess like my last point, like his trial is that like his defense is that the Joker ends up being like a split personality, and so there's Arthur and the Joker, and that the Joker did all the killings and not him, and he eventually fires his lawyer and he takes over at the end. But he has like an emotional breakdown at the end, and he kind of like gives up the Joker character, and then everyone leaves, including Harley Quinn. It's very weird. It's very it's just not good. I've heard podcasts say that like, oh, maybe Todd Phillips tanked the movie on purpose. I don't believe that. I don't think he would do that. That's just way just kind of way. I don't know. I don't think anyone makes a bad movie on purpose. I just think he just shot scenes similar to the last time, and they weren't as good. And you can only edit it so much. It just is what it is. So that's my spoiler review for Joker 2. Not as bad as everyone thought, but certainly not a great movie either. Let me know if you guys think in the comments. Subscribe if this is your first time watching my video. Thanks, guys, for watching. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.